Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. Happy birthday to Miss Courtney. 36 years old. I know, because I too am 36. Welcome to the club. Do you want me to sing you happy birthday? I can do that, but it might take me a minute. Sorry, I was having some computer problems. I hope they're not catching, if you will. I was definitely not sitting out on the deck in the sun. No, but seriously, I was actually having a problem with my computer. And so I don't have any makeup on. But that's okay. We can deal with it. Yes, and that I feel bad. The lady that's on the thumbnail, she she was really only on the screen for like 15 seconds. And no, happy birthday is not copyright, especially not if I sing it. Because I'm a terrible singer. But I will sing to Courtney. Courtney, do you want me to sing to you? I'm going to take that as a yes, not let you answer. Now you have to deal with it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Courtney, who I met in Florida. Happy birthday to you. Also, Donna sent me really lovely video of her, I guess, beach house in Daytona Beach. Looks amazing. I love it. Jelly. I want to come back to Florida. I want to. I'm planning. But uh, I'm terrible at making like filing paperwork and doing all that kind of shit. So, I had to spend quite a bit of today repairing some damage I did by not filing paperwork. And suffice it to say, I won't be booking any trips to Florida in the next 2 weeks. So anyways, I'm so glad that you're all here. This is a bathing suit. Thank you. I really like it. It is very, very warm here today for my standards. It is, oh, it's gone up. It's gone up since the last time I checked. It is 80 degrees. 80 degrees! That's so amazing. I love it. Also, thank you again to Sashina, Vicky, and Jonathan for the video tribute, let's call it, last night. I really appreciate that. Sashina's posted it on her page, and I will try and work that into some part of the intro, or the outro. But like I said, I had to do some paperwork today. So it was great. Oh, and CYP and Bev. Okay. And CYP and Beverly. Lovely. Thank you guys all so, so much. I had the song in my head. It was great. What are we gonna do first? Oh, we're gonna watch some Bronlick first. Then I have a new referee that we are gonna go watch. I watched part of his docket this morning, and I like him a little bit better than I like the funny judge or referee Kometz. Do I have a pool? No. No, I don't. I have a deck with an umbrella. I'm like looking at it, trying to think about it. I have a deck with an umbrella, a fire pit, and a barbecue. And then I am, but there's no pool. Definitely no pool. Probably, possibly Colette. I'm terrible at knowing my bra size. Honestly, I dated this guy once, and I don't know how to take this. You tell me. But he informed me that I was wearing the wrong size bra. And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're not, this is not fitting you properly." And I remember being like, "No, I've always been this size. This is my size." He's like, "You are not that size. I don't know why you think that." And then he took me and bought me some bras and had me like fitted. And then those ones fit. And it was different. I will admit that. So, but I've gained a lot of weight since then. So, let's, need new ones again. But yeah, he totally was helping me out. That guy, he was and one of the other things that he said to me one time, I remember like I got all dressed up, ready to go. Like we were going out somewhere. I think we were going to like some dinner event, and my hair was done, my makeup was done, my eyebrows. I think I had even put tanner on to like be tanned. And when he saw me, he goes, "You look great. You didn't paint your toenails though." And I was just like, the one thing, the literal one thing that I didn't do. But he was very observant like that. Keenly observant. He still is, to be honest. That's the roommate that I live with now. We aren't together anymore, but we used to be. He still tells me when I mismatch. Anyways, they do have adjustable bras, but the cup size is, it's just, if you get a bra that fits you really well, it is a lot better. There's just no getting around it. Hey, tons of fun carving. What are you carving? My banana? Let's get going with Bronlick. Hi, Bev. Thanks again for your help on the video. I loved it.
As Goodrich versus Nofsinger.
Never mind. I played the wrong video first. Let's just lead with this one. This guy has green hair, you guys. Oh, I just about flipped this off. I forgot about bathing suits being a little less sturdy. Okay, we'll just get going with this and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. I know, and Courtney, his hair is green. So this is the new referee. Not her. She's his assistant, Marie. But new referee upcoming. The second one was hard to understand. What I just said, I forget already, Bev. But oh, thank you for your help on the video. I really loved it.
Hi, folks. Good afternoon, morning. I think we're still in. Plaintiff is first on my screen. Amber Goodrich. Miss Goodrich, good afternoon, morning. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
And Mr. Nofsinger is on my screen as our defendant. Mr. Nofsinger, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So I've read your motion, Mr.
Miss Carrie! Hello, hello, hello. Does she have a soccer game? I don't know. Is he the leprechaun mascot for her soccer game? Is that a better question? This is crazy. Lovely to see you, by the way. Good after morning. Good after morning. I like that.
Nofsinger. Let me first ask you, Miss Goodrich, did you receive a copy of that as well?
I did not.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's talk about that a second. Mr. Nofsinger, court rules require, pursuant to MCR 2.119, that you serve a copy of your motion at least 7 days before today's date if you hand the papers or someone hands the papers directly to Ms. Goodrich, or 9 days prior if you put them in the mail, first class mail. It says on your motion that on the 20th of June, that you served the motion to Miss Goodrich at her last known address by first class mail. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And did you send it to the, I don't want to give out addresses, but just to the Chalet Street address in Allen?
Shillelagh Street. Chalet Street. That sounds very Irish. Chalet Street. Hiya, Sean. Hiya, Sean. Chalet Street. The Irish are onto Chalet Street. This is gonna be really funny in a moment, you guys, because you'll just see. You'll see. You'll see. Shillelagh.
Glendale?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Miss Goodrich, do you not live there?
I don't. I haven't lived there since May 18th of 2024.
Okay. And have you filed with the court a change of address?
I have not that I'm aware of. I've changed my mailing address and things of that nature.
Okay, but you're required under previous orders of this court to correct or to update your address with not only the court, but with the friend of the court, so that these issues don't occur. That's the first troubling thing. The second troubling thing is that Mr. Knopfsinger, you sent it to the address that you list for yourself. Is that true?
Yes, we had lived together for about 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, as I've already just talked about how I currently live with my ex, but we're not married. We never were married. So I guess it's a little bit different. We also don't share children. So us living together is more like roommates. Well, it is roommates. But it's tougher to live with your ex that you're like we've broken up and lived apart, and then we started living together later. So I don't know how it would be like just living with your ex right from the get-go. That would not be good. Also, who dressed Henry? You guys are fucking Streamlabs, get off my lawn. Jesus.
But you know she doesn't live there because you live there.
Well, she had just recently moved out. All her stuff was here, and she had been putting groceries into the home.
Okay.
So she.
Do you have
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you have her current address?
No, I do not. She did not share the information with me, despite previous orders stating that that type of stuff need to be enclosed.
All right. Well, how do you get in touch with Mr. Knopfsinger, Miss Goodrich?
Via text message. I also live in the same trailer park just down the street.
Okay.
He's not
So-
inquired for it either.
Well, that's not his job to inquire for it. Your job is to give it to the court and to the friend of the court. And you got to let the other side know, because otherwise we run into these situations where we have a court hearing, but one side has no idea the contents of what's going on. What I want you to do is immediately after we're done here, text Mr. Nofsinger your complete address, unless it is confidential, and it can only be confidential with an order. But it's, I want you to do that sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now the question becomes is where do we go from here? So there's a couple of different options. I am a firm believer in fundamental fairness. I want everybody to know everybody's cards before they play them. And not having a copy of the motion is somewhat difficult to respond to things, but I always leave it up to the person who didn't get the motion, even if the reason they didn't get it is really their own fault. Do you wish me to proceed today with this motion, even though you don't or weren't given a copy of it? Or do you wish me to adjourn it until you do get a copy of this?
I'd like to adjourn it until I do get a copy so that I know what I'm dealing with in regards to his requests for the motion.
All right, Mr. Nofsinger, did you have to take any time off of work or anything to be here this morning?
No, I did not.
Okay, because
No offense, this might come across wrong, but sir, he is sitting with dyed green hair in a trailer park wearing a vest and a bow tie. What job do we think that Henry has that he would have been missing today? Other than mascot for some sporting team. Right, MB? Holy leprechaun living on Shillelagh Street. It's a beautiful green vest. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And Peter Davidson is here too. What's up? Oh, I don't know if that's protected. My grandma putting in the Lucky Charms. That's good. I like that.
generally will grant that request, but I will also generally grant fees to the other side if they had an attorney. You don't, or if they had to take time off of work, come on downtown, pay for parking, etc. But it doesn't sound like that happened here. So here's what I want you to do. Ms. Goodrich, immediately after this hearing, which is going to end very quickly here, I want you to immediately text your complete and full address to Mr. Nostinger, so he has it. Then I want you to make your way within the next few days to the Kent County Courthouse and stop up on the third floor, I believe, at the clerk's office, or second floor, and change your address with the court, and then go down the road to 82 Ionia and change your address with the front of the court. And then everybody is on the same page with what we're up to here. And then I will have you come on back once that's accomplished. Any questions? First of all, Ms. Goodrich, what I need you to do.
I do not have any questions on what you need me to do.
Thank you. Mr. Nossinger, any questions on what I need you to do?
No, but I do have a question for you if you will take my time.
Well, if I can answer it, I'd be glad to. Go ahead.
So this meeting was about parenting time. I was just wondering how I go about reinforcing the original parenting time agreement we had.
Okay. Well, I can't give you legal advice. I wish I could, because I could dispense with That's literally half of my motions every Friday, but I can't. All I can tell you is a couple of things, and let this guide your decisions. That number one, I think you both need attorneys. Asking me if you need an attorney is like asking a car salesman if you need a car.
That before. I really like that. Asking a judge if you need an attorney is like asking a car salesman if you need a car. As somebody who used to sell cars, that fucking made me laugh really hard. Seriously. Oh, you always need an attorney. Seriously. Oh, also, Sean, get the kilt, wear the kilt, enjoy the kilt. I'm Scottish. I'm fully Scottish. I was born in Scotland. And just get it. Just get one.
You both need attorneys, and I've heard them all. I can't afford it. I got this. I got this. Well, all I can tell you is this: you really can't afford not to. But I can't force you. That's up to you. You both present yourselves very well. So it's not that you're not smart enough. It's just that you're not lawyers. So that's the first thing I can tell you, because that's a question that would better be asked of an attorney who represents you, Mr. Knopfinger, than me. The second piece of advice I would give you is that I expect all orders that currently exist, and I believe there's an order in your case dated September 4 of 2019.
Yes.
I expect
Trailer Park City, USA. No, this is in Michigan, Courtney. Birthday girl, Courtney. And yeah, it's in Michigan. Michigan.
all orders to be obeyed unless they are changed. So if that's any help to either one of you, then so be it. But if not, you have to renotice this, Mr. Knopfinger. The fifth floor will show you how to do that. You don't need to pay any other fees or anything to get this back in front of me. And once it gets in front of me, then I will deal with this issue unless both parties have taken what I've just said today.
And also, Dave, thank you for taking care of Sashina. We all appreciate that, Dave. Thank you so much. You know, Dave, there's a funny song that one of the folk singers that I know sings about a guy named Dave. It's funny. The judge, this guy is cool, funny. I'm already liking him. He's like, somebody wrote a comment on the Judge Komet's case the other day, and literally they said he's like the me pick me girl, and I realized, oh my god, he is like that. But so this guy's not quite like that, but almost.
Understand that I enforce court orders, and if necessary, I unfortunately have to recommend to judges all the time that someone be incarcerated or pay money for violating court orders. And I don't like doing that. So I hope you both take whatever advice I've given you and deal with it on that basis.
That is Courtney. What the fuck? Sorry, Courtney just sent me an article about this guy. I can't show that picture because the kids are in it. So in 2021, him and the leprechaun and another woman, not her, adopted children? If that's what I'm reading correctly here? It is. So I'm very confused where this child, where the living arrangements, I don't understand how any of this is working. He must have split up with the lady he adopted that other kid with pretty quick if he got with her and then stopped being with her and lived with her for years. Very confusing. Anyways, and I'm sure if you just look up his last name or his name, you'll see that article. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's fucked up.
So I will see you both back, unless, this matter can be worked out. So be looking for a text from Ms. Goodrich real quick here, Mr. Knopfinger, and,
Okay.
and then, I will, also be looking to make sure that, the proper change of address forms have been filled out with a friend of the court and the court. So thank you both very much. Have a good weekend. Give my, best to, AN. AN is 9 now, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so 9 years ago, AN leprechaun gets around. Courtney, I love you. Mark, hi. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. You're just in time to say goodbye to our green-haired Mohawk man, Henry Knopfsinger. That's quite the name. And I mean, my name's Paisley. So I also have quite the name. Lovely to see you. That's a weird situation on that one. Anyways, this judge is fucking, he plows through these people like a farmer through hay. Is that right? Do you plow hay? I think you do.
You're running out of time. You only got 9 more years, and then AN will tell you what to do, right?
That
Right.
part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, we're gonna move to number 4 on our list, case number 1505676 DS Hills versus Glenn.
All right. Ms. Hills, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Glenn, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
So, as you both recall, I was with you both a couple of weeks ago, and then there was an issue relative to Ms. Hills having a copy of the motion that we were discussing. So I guess my first question for Ms. Hills is, have you in fact received that?
Yes.
Okay, so that part's settled. The second question I have before.
No, I interrupt you, Judge, to say thank you to Mark Westberg. Thank you so much, Mark. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know, Miss Carrie. Mark has been single-handedly making sure that members only is a rager this weekend, and it's gonna be, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, we're gonna have a fucking great time. We'll rewatch the video that Sashina All made for me, the rap song, personalized. Woo! But please make sure that if you're just watching this or watching it in the future, that you check and make sure that you have gifts turned on, because we have amazing people around here, like Mark, um, gunning for fan of the year, hey. But seriously, Sunday is members only, but we have amazing people around here, and it really helps if you make sure that you have gifting turned on. Also, uh, we're just gonna keep growing, Commissioner Sleer. That's the plan. That's the plan. We're gonna keep on growing, baby. Um, seriously, Mark. Oh, fuck! I didn't even play thank you, Paisley. Could you be? Could you get with the program, please? Put Mark's comment back. There it is. Do 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 do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Amazing, amazeballs, amazing. Barbie. Uh, well, type in Michigan. I don't know. I shouldn't actually help to look that up, but I don't think it's too hard to figure out. Anyways, thank you again. Let's keep going. This judge, really seriously, he goes through them all the way through. No, Sashina, it is not. It is not. It is just a setting in StreamYard, and it is actually I'm not using my green screen setting. Like, there's a green screen behind me, but it's not like down here. So the built-in one works just fine.
I turn things over to Mr. Glenn is this. You understand, Mr. Glenn, that violations of a parenting time order by statute, MCL 552.644, end with this court. They don't start here. They begin at the front of the court, and they have their entire complaint process that they utilize to try and get things resolved, to and including issues of makeup parenting time, that type of thing. And once they have tried everything they can to resolve it, then they themselves, the friend of the court, will bring the parties into my court and request that a party either be held in contempt of court or not held in contempt of court. So the first question I have for you, Mr. Glenn, is have you in fact complied with that statute, and have you filed the requisite complaints at the front of the court for parenting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what did the friend of the court tell you?
Instructed me to file the motion that I filed, Your Honor, as well as told me that they would reach out to Ms. Hills because they only had an email address on file.
Why did they? Well, I can't answer that, but generally speaking, they would never recommend filing a motion while they're in the process of working through a parenting time complaint.
Yeah, Your Honor, the parenting time, when they looked at it, they see that the child is supposed to be with me during the summer and the time that he was supposed to be with me, and the child isn't with me. Therefore, the process that you are speaking on would exceed my even parenting time. So therefore, they told me that we can get it started, which I did with them, and they told me to go file the motion with you, Your Honor, to make this aware, to enforce the parenting time that's already court ordered, because Ms. Hill refuses to comply, which I've provided with through text messages to you with my motion, Your Honor.
Oh, first, let's say thank you to Mayor. I know, Mayor. If you guys go out and come back in, there is a brilliant chat or AI feature. Thank you, Mayor. There is a brilliant chat AI feature. Mikey actually told us that he tested that a long time ago, well, he didn't tell us a long time ago. He told us recently that that was one of the things he worked on. But which I find interesting. I find it very accurate, but it's a bit laggy. Like it doesn't pick up little conversations. Anyways, this is frustrating, right? Like it's tough for him. He's doing the right thing. Hi, Erica. He's filing a motion. You know, this is what he's supposed to do. So, are you guys? Oh, I thought somebody was talking about grilled cheese. I'm like, you're making me hungry. I forgot to eat all day. I just realized that. Yeah, poor dude at summer and no kid. That's not good.
I've read everything, Mr. Glenn. I've read everything you have submitted. A lot of things I didn't need to read, but I read it. So I'm thinking what the friend of the court probably said is we'll start this matter, but since it does take a little while, and the order that's in place, and that order is dated January 5th of this year, and I'm staring at it. That order provides for, and I'll read it directly. The defendant, Jamal Glenn, will exercise uninterrupted parenting time through the summer recess from school, beginning on Monday after school releases until 2 weeks before school resumes. And I'm just assuming the friend of the court probably thought that we'll get it started, but since it will take a little bit, that would probably, we would probably not be able to get it done before Glenn's parenting time would have expired. And maybe that's why. But I just read to you, Ms. Hills, what the order says. Why isn't JG with Mr. Glenn?
So my concern has been that Mr. Glenn is currently out on bond for a trial he has to begin for yet another domestic violence case. He also has a pending eviction from his current unit that I have not received any information on the follow through of what's actually happening. So as a parent, I'm just trying to prevent my son from any additional trauma and issues that he has going on.
See, here's the problem when parties come to court, and in essence, I end up to be the third parent, which I hate being because you two know your child better than I do. But this puts me always in the position of being a third parent. I don't want that. But I can't have parties violating court orders because this is how they feel. See, if the parties have a reason to not comply with a court order, then what they need to do is it has to be done in one of two ways. It either has to be done through an ex parte order, meaning an emergency order motion with Judge Gottlieb, or it has to be done by you filing a motion to revise the current order because of certain concerns. But I can't have a parent just take it upon themselves to say, oh, I have concerns, so I'm not going to comply with the order. Because then, if I did that, Mr. Glenn, once JG is in his care, and it's time for JG to go back to your place after the summer's concluded, he could do the same thing. He could say, you know what, I have concerns with his safety because of this going on with Miss Hill, and then not send your son back to you. And that is what courts try and avoid by having court orders. So I can't have you violating a court order, because to do so would cause all kinds of problems. So I'm here to tell you that you have to comply with this order unless it's changed by another order. And I've checked the file, and it hasn't been.
I
So,
haven't done it yet. I
Oh.
didn't know which way to go about it.
well, right now you're in contempt of court. And what I'm going to order is that your son be placed in the care of Mr. Glenn for his parenting time within the next 7 days. And that will give you time to file your emergency motion if you wish to. But I expect compliance with this order in the next 7 days. And then once that has been complied with, then we will discuss whether this order should be changed in the future. We'll discuss any makeup parenting time that Mr. Glenn has. And the friend of the court can go through their entire process. So are we clear on what I expect you to do, Ms. Hills?
Yes, can I ask a question? Can we get clarification if indeed Mr. Glenn still has somewhere to live so that my son can,
I'm at home right now, Your Honor. I don't know what you're talking about. This been as of May.
Stop. Okay.
Hey,
Okay. Now, you've just violated the first thing that I said to everybody when we started. I don't let people's frustration get the better of them. And if you're so frustrated to the point where you're not going to listen to me, Mr. Glenn, then what I suggest is you get an attorney to speak for you. Because the first thing I said, you can't interrupt somebody because it mutes out the microphone. So Ms. Hill was just saying that, can we confirm you have a place to live? And my response is that he's already done that. I was here the last hearing and he's got a place to bring your son.
he just had court for his eviction the other day, and it has that there's a judgment. The last thing was a 7-day writ from my recollection. And I just wanted to confirm as a parent who's sending their kid across the country that indeed he has somewhere to actually lay his head, which
Well,
is,
he
I
does.
think, a valid concern.
I do too, but he does. He just answered it. So that question's been answered. He does have a place to live.
For how long?
That's 2 questions, Ms. Hills. That's not going to happen. Okay? You need to hire an attorney if you feel that that's an appropriate avenue for you to go down. But obviously, if you are apprised that Mr. Glenn is homeless, then make your allegation in a motion, either on an emergency basis with Judge Gottlieb or on a regular basis with me. But I expect compliance with this order in the next 7 days. Are both parties clear with what I just ordered?
I'm
Yes.
clear with the order. Can I speak, Your Honor?
You just won. Why would I need you to speak?
Your Honor, I haven't. My son is already in Michigan. You giving her 7 days. My son been here in Michigan since the end of school. He's already in Michigan. I haven't seen him. On top of that, my motions, I filed 2 motions. Neither motion has been heard, Your Honor. I still filed another motion trying to change the parenting time in place due to Ms. Hills not complying with anything with the court order, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can
No. I've denied every motion that's in front of me. So you're going to the front of the court for enforcement, and I just granted the motion to comply with this in the next 7 days. I don't care if the child is in Alaska.
All right.
7 days, the child comes to Mr. Glenn and you follow the order of the 5th of January of 24. All the other motions are denied. And I expect compliance. You both are all set. Thank you. We're adjourned.
And they are going to move right on to the next. We are too. I don't think she'll bring the child back. We'll obviously keep watching this court and see what happens.
Let Mr. Pointer back in.
I'm here.
Okay, excellent. We'll do, this is number 10. We've got Kanaya and there we are. This is case number 2207955 DP Spencer versus Pointer.
All right, first on my screen is the defendant, Roman Pointer. Mr. Pointer, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Next on my screen is our plaintiff, Ms. Kenyana Spencer. Ms. Spencer, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So I've read your motion, Mr. Pointer. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Spencer?
I did.
All right. Anything you want to add to your motion, Mr. Pointer, before I ask some questions?
Yes,
No.
Hang on.
I do.
Hang on. Okay, you're violating my directions too. No interrupting people. I'm with Mr. Pointer first. It's his motion. So, Mr. Pointer, anything you want to add that's not in your motion? I don't want you to rehash your motion to me. I've read it. Okay? But
Okay.
there's anything in your motion that you haven't told me that you wish to ask or tell me today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Miss Spencer, I need you to straighten out the camera, first of all, because I'm looking at the blue sky. There you go. All right. Tell me what's on your mind.
Well, first of all, the motion that he filed, I don't think is right. The motion said that the CPS worker said that he was to have full custody of my son, and I tried to harm myself and yada, 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 yada. There was no proof of anything about trying to hurt myself or anything. Romance has, then he went so far as telling me and my other family members, because I don't reside in Kent County. My mother and my sister was trying to get little Romance, spend time with him. He telling them that he can't, he busy, like basically just trying to block them out. I have been calling, trying to talk to my son, see my son since Big Romance have came and got him, and all he tells me is the CPS worker told me that I can't have any contact. So I asked the CPS.
Big Romance and Little Romance. Big Romance and Little Romance are the names that we're dealing here, guys. Big Romance is daddy, and Little Romance is the little one. Big Romance. You can't write this shit. You actually can't. Like, even ChatGPT AI would have a hard time coming up with some of this stuff and it just being like, I get it, but Romance is such a weird name. His Little Romance. Oh dear. Oh dear.
CPS worker, and she told me that is not true. She said you still have full custody of your son, and that they are just in what they call a safe house, because I'm over in not Kent County, but I'm over in Clinton Township, and I came over here to live with a friend, but she ended up getting evicted, so my housing got kind of complicated. So as a father should, Big Romance came and got his son. But this is the first time in almost 3 years that he has ever did anything. All he wanted was his child support to be cut off.
Okay.
There
Well,
has been times I done asked Big Romance for help. I didn't get no call back, no nothing. And now he wants to come play Captain Save-A-Day out of 3 years.
Captain Save-A-Day. What is going on here? What water are they drinking? He's the Kardashian name generator. He looks like he's, I mean, it's just you guys, oh, his name is rife for the playing with words. Mr. Poulet. Romance and Little Romance. That's it. Um Big Little Romance. Yeah, I know. What is with this yada yada yada? Captain Save-A-Day. I know. You guys, it is again, sometimes I wonder how I even find these little romance, big romance, big romance.
this is an ugly world, Miss Spencer. People are not inclined to help other people anymore. That kind of went out with the COVID. People are not very helpful to anybody anymore. That's a shame, but it's kind of the reality of the world. So everybody's somewhat left to help themselves. But the question I have for you, Mr. Pointer, is this: is first of all, there is no pending abuse neglect case in the 17th Circuit Court, because I've checked. Is there a pending abuse neglect case in any other court besides the 17th Circuit Court in Kent County?
I don't know if it's not one in Kent County, but the county that she's living in now, the CPS workers had joined forces with Grand Rapids as well. I met with one of the CPS workers yesterday. They came to my home yesterday. So that I don't know. I just been staying in contact with the CPS workers that in the county that she's in currently.
Right. What county is that, Miss Spencer?
I'm in Clinton Township.
Clinton?
Yes.
Okay. Not very far away.
No.
But you're not aware, Mr. Pointer, if there's any abuse neglect case pending in Clinton County, are you?
Yeah, I am.
There isn't one, is there?
That I don't know. They couldn't give me too much information. A lot of the stuff is in black and white that they couldn't retrieve to me. They just pretty much summed a lot of stuff out to me, but they couldn't pretty much like give me like documentation or anything.
Well, if there was a pending neglect case, you would have to be notified by court rule, both you and Ms. Spencer. So the fact that you haven't been notified by CPS that there's a court date or a pending court case, I can only assume there isn't. Okay. Now, CPS is involved, and I will tell you that, and I'll tell you both this. CPS was put on this earth for no other purpose than to protect children. But they don't tell me what to do, and they don't instruct parties to violate court orders, period. If there is a safety plan that's written that has been signed by both parties and says that your son, and I'm going to use the initials, and apparently both of you missed that instruction by my clerk. We only use initials of minor children. So RLP juniors too. So, is there a written safety plan that has been signed by both you, Ms. Spencer, and the CPS worker?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, there's no pending NA case, and there is no pending safety plan. So now I'm left with simply an allegation, a very serious one, that Ms. Spencer is having some mental health issues relative to the care and treatment of RLP Junior. Is that accurate, Mr. Pointer?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you've denied that, Ms. Spencer. You said you don't have any mental health issues at all, and that you have your housing is a little unstable at this point, but am I reading that right too? You have some unstable housing, you deny the mental health issues.
Yes,
That's
my living situation is a little unstable, but far as the mental part, no. I went to the hospital just on the sake of to get proven that I don't have mental. I got evaluated. I had to stay at the hospital for 72 hours, get evaluated by a psych.
Oh, Julie, 72 hours is pretty voluntarily, I guess. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I so appreciate it. Crows. I just realized you guys might not be able to hear the crows outside and just think I'm weirdly yelling crows. It's like they know what I'm talking. Seriously, thank you so much, Julie. Again, members only Sunday. Crows. They sectioned her. Yeah, they might have, right? Like again, 72 hours automatic hold. And then she said, "Oh, because I proved I don't have mental." Again, you gotta slow down, sit down. Slow down, sit down, listen, look. These are the rules for Zoom court.
And they let me go home the same day because they told me there was no mental illness or no mental health there.
Do you know of any diagnosis, Mr. Pointer, that Ms. Spencer has received?
That I do not. I haven't got any like doctor like information or anything like that. I have not.
So, what is Child Protective Services going to do about this?
Talking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, well, when I was informed on June 13th, it was June 12th, the night of June 12th, I was informed by CPS to come get my kid. So that being said, they were saying that she's very unstable. She's, she having mentally ill issues, with trying to commit suicides and things. And my son is not in best care with her. So I received this information from the CPS worker in the county that she's in. So the CPS workers at the county that she's in told me to make sure I filed a motion before I go get him. Because if I didn't go get him, I guess he was going to be in a state, because he didn't have anybody to attain him safely and everything. So I had to go file a motion to get my kid to make sure he was safe. And I did everything correctly that they told me to do in black and white. And that's exactly what I did.
All right. But see, there's no order that says that RLP will reside with you at this point. Is there?
No.
Okay. So that's the problem. And your understanding is that unless you have some sort of order that you believe that Child Protective Services is going to file some sort of neglect abuse petition against the parties and bring this matter to court?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe so, Your Honor. I've been keeping in very contact with them. I've been talking to them on a daily basis. They've been staying in contact with me. They just, been telling me that, he would be the best care of our child would be in my care. So
That might be true, but Julie's proving that wrong, Carol. Thank you, Julie. You're so sweet. You meant to do 10 originally, but now you've made 10. And you made me happy twice. Yay! Boo, 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 boo. Proving the crows wrong. That's right. Crows are not a bad omen around here. Thank you so much, Julie. Seriously, you guys are amazing. This case is not good. I don't know why CPS isn't involved here. It seems like they should be or should have been called as a witness. But again, he needs to be like calling them as a witness. Otherwise, it's hearsay. Hearsay and hearsay. Thank you again, Julie. But that's so short-sighted if the court order means that she can take the kid back. You know what I mean? Anyways, you guys are great. I actually really like this referee so far. He is very straight up. Very straight up.
I received all of these allegations and, well, not allegations, but all of these, questions and everything from the CPS workers.
Yeah, like I said, CPS, they have their jobs to do, and one of them is not to violate court orders. Okay, that's why they sent you here, because they are recommending that your son reside with you for a while, because right now Ms. Spencer has some challenges going on in her life relative to either mental health, which she denies, but certainly unstable housing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grant part of your motion, and I'm going to order that RLP Junior reside with you while Children's Protective Services is conducting their investigation. But once their investigation is complete, then you can, either one of you, if it substantiates, then you can file a motion, you renotice or bring your motion back. And if it doesn't, then Ms. Spencer could file a motion to have RLP Junior return to her care. So I'll sign on to an order like that. And you would have to prepare that, Mr. Pointer, and maybe folks at CPS can help you with that. But CPS has to decide what they want to do. They're either going to get involved or they're not going to get involved. If they get involved, they know how to bring those things to court. They do it all the time. If they're not going to get involved, then I need to know that, and then I will get involved. But right now we're in limbo. We don't know what they're going to do.
Who laughed? Did you guys hear that laugh? Also, I've decided for dinner tonight, which is also my breakfast and my lunch, because I didn't eat yet today. I am going to have a Caesar salad with mashed potatoes and gravy. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do.
So I need you to prepare that order to cover the time while this investigation is going on. But once it's done, then someone's gonna have to do something, either CPS or me. Okay?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
have a question, Your Honor.
I don't think I can answer questions for you, Ms. Spencer, but I can try.
So, that's fine with, little RLP being with him until I get stable. That's all that I wanted. But am I still able to like talk to my son, see my son? Because as it's been going since he's been gone, I have not been able to talk to my son, haven't seen my son. Like it's like he don't want me to have no contact with him.
Well, until CPS is done with their investigation, I don't see any reason why Ms. Spencer can't have some sort of supervised parenting time while that's going on. But once it's done, like I said, then it's going to be up to either myself or CPS to make their intentions known. So you need to prepare that order, Mr. Pointer, and maybe you should have some assistance. So you should go to the 5th floor legal assistance center and they'll help you out with that. Okay.
Okay, Jan, I got a question. So I went to the 5th floor the first time and they helped me with the motion. So
Right.
basically, this is a whole nother order that I have to conduct.
Yeah, they'll help you fill out a order that you need to get me to sign. So they know what to do. They have the forms for that.
Okay, and I got another question, Your Honor. Is
No,
there
No,
is there
one per customer, Mr. Pointer. I can't give legal advice and I can't play question and answer because if I do that, then there's always another one. So I've answered one question I got for you. So head to the Legal Assistance Center. They can help you out. And hopefully CPS can straighten this out for you. If not, I will. Okay?
All righty.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got a couple in the waiting room that I'm gonna bring in real quick. We're gonna move to number 7 and then Matt, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, ma'am.
Just letting you know, Eva had requested an interpreter, but they didn't receive that request, so I put that in and we're just waiting on that. And as soon as Eduardo shows up, we'll move along with yours, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, like I said, number 7. Case number 2401164 DP, Marks versus Rudsbeck.
Oh, yeah, listen,
Unmute. Cornell, I'm gonna put you on mute, please.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Take.
Unmute.
Yes, I'm on mute, ma'am.
All right. First on my screen is the plaintiff in this matter, Jason Marks. Mr. Marks, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
And Ms. Ruzebeck, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
So I have received a motion filed by Mr. Marks relative to genetic testing. Did you receive a copy of that, Ms. Ruzebeck?
Yes, I did.
All right. Is there anything in the motion, Mr. Marks, or is there anything other than what's in the motion, because I've read it, that you wish to tell me today?
I'm trying to get to see my daughter. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ruzebeck, first of all, to both of you, I think, well, I can only congratulate you at this point. Pretty soon I can congratulate Mr. Marks if he is found to be ELR's biological father, but congratulations on the birth of your child. So you've received the motion, your response, please.
I did receive the motion, but he already knows he's the father, so I'm just kind of confused on why. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can't fill in that blank for you. But once again, I'm being asked quite a bit today by people who are unrepresented to give legal advice, which I cannot do. And if parties have questions about where things go or stand at this point, they need to retain an attorney, because that has those are very important questions. So let me see if I can answer it this way. The plaintiff, Mr. Marks, has filed a complaint under the Paternity Act. That's the statutory scheme set up in Michigan for determining the parentage of a child. That's set forth in the whole Paternity Act scheme is set up in MCL 722.711 at SEC. And when I use scheme, I'm not saying that it's a scheme in the bad sense. I'm just saying that's the statute we have to follow. 722.711. He has requested genetic testing pursuant to MCL 722.716. That statute says this, that the court shall, not may, not could, but shall order the mother, the child, and the alleged father, which is Mr. Marks's proper designation at this point, to submit to genetic testing. Now, that's one way to determine paternity. And what they will do is they will take genetic material from all three of you, and once they confirm your identification, then they will run an analysis. Mr. Marks is responsible for the cost of that. And then if it's found that he is in fact the father, then the matter proceeds to a scheduling conference. Then from there, it would proceed to a settlement conference. And then if that doesn't resolve it, then it would ultimately end up in a trial. That's one way to do it. The second way to do it is the parties themselves can agree on the parentage of ELR. And if they did, they could obtain something called an affidavit of parentage. It's a one form, and I think they may even have them at the Legal Assistance Center on the 5th floor. And both parties have to sign on to that. And I think it has to be in front of a notary, which I believe.
Okay, I want to pitch a reality show called The 5th Floor. And it's just filming the clerk, the poor clerk that works up on the 5th floor, where this fucking judge has sent the most ragtaggedy, crazy people today up to this 5th floor. Can you imagine? I imagine that lady, whoever is the inevitable 5th floor clerk, hates this. It's just constant. Just go to the 5th floor. They can help you. Do you know, we all know what they're going to say on the 5th floor. Well, it's not quite that simple, Judge. They can't give legal advice either because they're not lawyers. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's totally like just normal and boring, but I feel like if we put a freaking, maybe even a Ring camera up there, we could get some good stuff. Yeah, Bill. Yeah, the courthouse only has 4 floors. Go to the 5th. Go to the 5th. That's funny.
Individuals at the Legal Assistance Center are notaries. And if the parties
Oh, well, they're fucking
agree,
notaries and it's a legal assistance center, so it's not gonna be as good as I thought. Whatever, I'm still gonna write a fictional story about the 5th floor using Chat GPT tonight so that we can read it on Sunday at members only.
that in fact Mr. Marks is the father of ELR, it would dispense with the need for genetic testing. Then the parties wouldn't have to go through that scenario. And then you would just simply file that, and then the court would next schedule other proceedings in this matter. So if the parties are in agreement, there's a form you can fill out that does that. If the parties wish that to be confirmed to a scientific certainty, then there's a way to do that too. So I will grant the motion, but in the meantime, if the parties have their own ideas in this matter, you're going to have to go to the Legal Assistance Center anyway, Mr. Marks, because they'll help you prepare an order. You've included a blank one, but I need you to fill it out. They'll help you fill it out. And they will also help you, Ms. Ruzabeck, if the parties are in agreement that Mr. Marks is in fact the biological father. I'm going to order that this testing must occur within 30 days after the order is entered. So I grant the motion, and my hope is that you may not need it. Anything further, Mr. Marks?
So when I went to the Legal Assistance Center, they said to file to get parenting time that I needed to fill this out. So I was just going based off of what they said. I do believe that I am the father. I would just like to try to get some parenting time.
Yeah, I understand that. But I can't even entertain that. Judge Gottlieb can't even entertain that until you're determined to be the legal father.
Okay.
Once you are determined to be the legal father, whether that be through an affidavit or a genetic test, then Judge Gottlieb will entertain a temporary order in your case about issues such as custody, parenting time, child support, the whole 9 yards. That's kind of the key to get into the door, so to speak.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Ruzabeck, anything else on your behalf?
No.
Okay, then I'll grant your motion, Mr. Marks, but I'm hoping you may not have to do that. But I certainly will grant your motion and order that it be done within the next 30 days, unless the parties within that 30 days agree to completing an affidavit of parentage. And then we'll take it from there. So thank you both. Like I said, having a newborn is exciting. I hope that things calm down for you and this matter gets resolved. So thank you best. I wish you both the best, and
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so then there was, you got to give me a minute because I like him. So I went back. I had started, you notice none of that was sped up. I recorded that in real time, but I was behind. So then I went back and I recorded more and I skipped the interpreter. Because I just didn't want to. But give me 1 minute and we'll watch another one. But I'm gonna create frame, which if you're new here means that I'm gonna freeze. But we're not doing the whole rest of this. I froze. That's what I said. We'll probably do one more case and then we'll call it because I'm really hungry. Sing me the song of the shillelagh.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have a fair amount of cases to work through this morning. Couple of
Now I'm out of sync. Everyone refresh it. What kind of song do you want, Billy? You missed it. I sung earlier. I sang happy birthday to Courtney because it's Courtney's birthday. Also, I don't have Copilot on my computer. So I don't know what that is, Julie. But if it is, oh, it's fine now. Good. Perfect. Then let's keep going. Also, if you think of a song, I probably won't sing it. I'm okay. Let's watch this case.
ground rules. My clerk has already informed you of most of them. I just have a couple. Number one is only one person can talk at a time. So please don't interrupt the other if it can at all be avoided. And second, you have to be seated somewhere in preferably not a moving vehicle. The problem with it is they keep moving around, it will cut your microphone out and then we can't hear what you need to say. So first on my screen is Precious Evans. Ms. Evans, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And next on my screen is our defendant in this matter, Antonio Posey. Mr. Posey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So this is captioned a motion to enforce. I don't know who helped the parties with this, but by statute, specifically Michigan Compiled Law 552.644, motions to enforce parenting time issues begin at the friend of the court. They end with me because the friend of the court brings them to me from time to time, requesting that I hold somebody in contempt, possibly place them in jail or fine them or all sorts of other remedies. But they don't normally start here. But apparently there is the last order was entered in this matter in April of 2023, and the order is fairly specific when it comes to parenting time. And the motion, at least on its face, tells me or is alleging that the plaintiff is withholding parenting time and prohibiting the minor child, and I will use initials PMAE, and PMAE is 9, but is withholding the child in violation of a court order and prohibiting a child from participation in extracurricular activities. So the first question I have for you, Mr. Posey, since you filed this motion, is have you filed the requisite complaints with the friend of the court yet?
No, I was informed by my lawyer that I did file the wrong paperwork at the last minute. So
Okay.
I did not talk to the friend of the court yet.
Okay. See what happens, the friend of the court has forms that out, and what they do is once they get those forms, they send it to Miss Evans. Miss Evans then gets a chance to respond. And then if the friend of the court can't straighten things out, which a lot of times they do, but if they can't, then they will bring the matter back to me and in the context of a contempt matter.
Right.
So that's probably where you got to head first, but let me find out
Yeah.
first. Miss Evans, have you got a copy of Mr. Posey's motion?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, the friend of the court is going to talk to you as well. And they are going to find out if, in fact, what is alleged in the motion is true. And if it is, then what is going to be done about it? And that could, if there is a violation of a court order, that could result in some significant penalties to whomever is violating the court order. So I'm going to deny this motion in front of me this morning without prejudice, meaning that Mr. Posey can bring it back and direct him to file these matters with the friend of the court. And hopefully the friend of the court can resolve any dispute between the parties. If not, then it will be brought back in front of me for a full-blown hearing. And there's some really significant penalties that go along with violating court orders. So
Can I say something, or do I?
well, we're really not going to have the motion today, so I'm really not, I don't want parties to start saying things, but just so you know, they are going to, the friend of the court is going to want a full explanation of what's going on. So I would make sure you, when you get something from them, make sure you find out or write out what you need to write out so they have a complete version of the facts, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you both very much. Hopefully they can resolve this at the friend of the court level. If not, I will see you all back at some point in time, but you can sign off and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Ladies
Bye-bye.
and gentlemen, Marie is back.
We're gonna move to number 10 next. And that is case number 22079555 DP, Spencer versus Pointer.
Oh, I was like, we just heard Spencer versus Pointer, remember? Romance Pointer. But she doesn't show up at first. And if you recall, when I explained earlier, I recorded, this is the first half, but I recorded it second. So don't worry. It's one other case we'll get, and then we're done. Then I'm making my mashed potatoes and gravy. Damn it, don't lose the packet of gravy. It's actually very, very important.
Is Romance Pointer on the call?
Yeah, he's
No.
there.
Did we lose him already?
I don't know. I think Mr.
I'm here. I'm here.
I was gonna say, I thought he was here.
I don't
There we
know who
I'm here.
Foster is on this case.
There we go. No, I just turned Mr. Foster off. There we go.
Okay.
And Kanaya, can you hear me? Miss Spencer?
She gone. She gone. They recover a lot quicker
All right,
than
let's
most
give her a
courts.
minute. Let's come back to that one. And let's go to number 12 then. Just going right down the list. Case number 1611526DP, Tatro versus Foster.
Does
All
her
right,
shirt say
first on my
suplex? You guys, does her shirt say suplex on it? Also, she's treating Mr. Foster literally like a rag doll. Pardon me. Tossed him out, brought him back. Also, you guys do check out the Amazon wish list. I told you I added a red polka dot dress. I really like it. It's really great.
screen is our defendant in this matter, Chris Foster. Mr. Foster, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
And next on this matter is the plaintiff, Michelle. Is it Tatro or Tatro? Tatro. So what? First of all, you're talking too soft. I need you to talk louder. We're having a connection problem, Michelle.
We'll
How
try
about
the camera off.
Okay. Can you say something now, Michelle?
It's Tatro.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
All right, we're going to keep your camera off because apparently you're having some bandwidth problems and it's easier to do this. So I have reviewed your motion relative to custody. Mr. Foster, have you received a copy of that as well?
No, but I've been in communication with Ms. Tatro, and I understand what's should be being asked.
All right, well, let me explain to both of you that the court rule when it comes to these types of motions requires that the parties are served, if by hand, at least 7 days prior, and if by mail, at least 9 days prior. What you're telling me, Mr. Foster, is you did not receive a copy of the motion pursuant to court rule, but that you're willing to waive any notice defects and have the motion today. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, I guess. Yes, I believe so.
All right. Okay. Then, Ms. Tatro, I've read your motion. Anything else you want to add that I don't already know before I hear from Mr. Foster?
To be honest, like I feel like we were talking about coming up into the agreement, and right now I just feel like this is blackmail. If it's his way, it's no way. So I really don't know. I tried to get my ex-attorney Leslie involved. She told me that she's not going to take the case right now. She thinks I can do it on my own, but if some reason it went to trial, she might take it in the future. But as of right now, she don't think it might not. She thinks I can do it by myself. So I'm just very stressed out. I feel like I'm being blackmailed, manipulated. If I don't give him what he wants, I don't get my kid. And it's just very stressful and very, I don't know. I just got out of work and I'm just stressed out.
Yeah, lady, we're all fucking stressed out. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard an attorney say. Oh no, you got this one. I'll catch the next one. No. Also, she's an uptalker. I've been accused of being an uptalker as well. I think I probably am, but she's an uptalker. Manipulated. Yeah. Leslie don't want your promises to pay and they get nothing. Nothing.
I'm sorry to hear that. Mr. Foster,
Yes, sir.
your response, what's going on?
So to give you a brief synopsis of where we're at in our parenting over MCF. I picked up Malachi to Michelle.
Oh, he tried so hard. He was like, I've been listening, Judge. I know you want me to say initials. I will say them very slowly. And then the literal next word out of his mouth was Malachi, the child's name.
Has had legal custody of him, physical custody for ever since he was born. He last year started having some issues in class. We were worried about just the way he was behaving. And CPS was a potential threat. Michelle asked me to pick him up for a limited amount of time, and I initially said no. But I was willing to raise him. I didn't want to just come in and pick him up and have him out of the area for a little bit of time and then bring him back. So that went a few more months, and finally in September of last year, towards the end of September last year, Michelle and I came to agreement that Malachi should, MCF should be raised by his father. It was just something a son should get. I've had custody of him, been raising him, well, not legal custody, but I've been raising him since then. It's coming up on 10 months. I've been doing homeschooling. My reason for pursuing a change in custody is predominantly for schooling matters. It's a bit of a hassle to, if I don't have physical custody, to enroll him in the school. I'm living in Arkansas right now, so that's 13-hour trip away. It's hard for Michelle to get out here and enroll him in school. So I was just trying to change custody. Also, I was hoping that it wouldn't be an issue of leverage. So I filed a motion with the courts to change custody with Malachi. I apparently didn't do it correctly, and Michelle also filed one in Michigan. We were trying to come up with an agreement. The last proposed agreement was that I would raise Kai predominantly.
Hang on, stop.
Sorry, sir. Yes, go ahead.
For both parties' protections,
thank you.
For both of your protections, I do not permit parties to discuss settlement negotiations between the two. So the question I have for you is, first of all, I don't have any motion filed by you. The second thing is, who authorized the move to Arkansas?
I moved years earlier. I've been out here since 2000, I want to say 19. And I discussed it with Michelle over the phone and made the trip out to Michigan to pick him up back in September.
Okay, so so the answer is that the parties agreed that you would be permitted to reside with the child in Arkansas. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where is the piece of paper signed by both of you and dated that has your agreements all spelled out for me?
We don't have that. Sorry, sir.
You know what's odd to me? When parties borrow $10 from one another, they always put it in writing and make sure it's signed, and this is how it's going to be paid back and all this type of stuff. But they don't seem to want to do that when it comes to something as important as their children. And it becomes troubling because courts have to be able to enforce orders unless the parties, which they do frequently, especially ones that are not represented by attorneys, frequently they will agree to do things outside of court orders, but they always put them on paper and sign them so that when situations like this come up, then we don't run into these problems in the future. So I
Yes,
get, that seems to be the crux of this issue, that perhaps at some point, Ms. Tatro said, yeah, I'm going through a rough patch right now. But why don't you take MF and then can come up with an agreement once I get myself resettled and CPS out of my life and that type of thing. And parents do that all the time. And public policy, there's a whole litany of cases that say that Thoreau versus Dorr, 137, Michigan Appeal 147, Spears versus Spears, 108, Michigan Appeal 543, Straub versus Straub, 209, Michigan Appeal 77, all Court of Appeals cases that indicate that when a parent's going through a rough patch and then the parties agree to have some sort of temporary arrangement, once that temporary arrangement or once the situation is resolved, then the parties are going to go back to something either resembling normal or having an opportunity to put things on paper. So I guess my question for you is, what have you and Ms. Tatro at least discussed what type of arrangement you're going to have going forward?
Yes, we have. We haven't come to an agreement.
Okay.
However,
All right. So the parties are not in agreement, and somebody's going to have to.
Say something if I can say something.
Yeah, you've always said something, Ms. Tatro. I will let you always have the chance to speak. But right now I am. So right now, what you're saying to me is the parties who are the parents of the 7-year-old and know the 7-year-old better than anybody on this earth can't seem to get it together, and then some independent third party who's never met our 7-year-old is going to make the decision. That's how you guys want to go? That's how you're thinking, Mr. Foster, that this is the best way to resolve this matter?
no, sir, not at all.
Because I will jump in and I will tell you, a lot of people don't like it when the state jumps into a case, because then where does it stop? I mean, pretty soon then I'm telling you where your son goes to the doctor. I don't want to be a third parent in your world. No offense, but you both know your son better than I am. So, Ms. Tatro, why did your son end up in Arkansas, and what do you wish me to do about it?
It wasn't a CPS case. I'll have an
I can't hear you.
It wasn't over a CPS case. I didn't even have CPS in my life. I had an older daughter, who was a juvenile, was in the home. Malachi was her main victim, that she would abuse him, and I was worried that she might hurt him.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't know if you guys heard that properly. She said, I had a juvenile in my home, and the child was her main victim that she would abuse. Okay. And it's the older sister? I'm not sure how the judge is really hearing it.
I wanted to let him go to his dad until school was out. Me and Christopher share another child together that remains with me.
You gotta talk louder, Miss Tatro.
Me and Christopher have another child together that remains in my care.
Okay,
I agree with Mr. Foster that I would give him summers with both children. I just want the school year and he can spend the holidays. He don't like that. So now it's like you can't see your son, you can't get your son. And then I even said I would get my friend was gonna ride with me to go get him, and I was denied to even get him. He recently just gave me his address a couple weeks ago, which he refused to give me for months. And the courts told me, FOCs, that I couldn't just go pick him up because there was no custody order, or I would have been got him when school was out. I
Well,
just wanted that Christopher.
hang on. When I said I'll give you a chance to talk, I didn't say forever.
My bad. I was just trying to explain everything.
No, I got it, because first of all, when anybody gives you any advice, you have no right to rely on it unless you're paying for it. So unless you're paying somebody to give you legal advice, you have no right to rely on it because there is an order in place. The last custody order was March 29 of 2017, and that granted you custody pursuant to a judgment of paternity. So you have legal and physical custody of this child. So why you couldn't go pick this child up, I have no idea. But if you two are comfortable abdicating your parental roles to me, I will automatically send this matter to the front of the court, and we'll have a complete investigation and recommendation as to what I should do about custody, child support, parenting time, and the whole 9 yards. Is that what you wish me to do?
No, I really want him just to agree that the order I asked. I have the kids on school year. He has them in summer.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to order mediation in this case pursuant to MCR 3.216. They can do it over Zoom, and I'm going to require that it be at the Dispute Resolution Center because it works on a sliding scale. And you will meet with a mediator, whether it be in person or on Zoom or some other way. And that person will try and get an agreement between you two. And if you can't, you can come on back to me and I will, in essence, blow this whole thing up and open everything up, which I really don't want to do, but I don't really have any alternative. But if the agreement you have is that Mr. Foster would have the children during the summer, then why would I have you go down there and pick up your son? Because right now it is the summer. Right? Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is this. And Ms. Tatro, you need to go to the Legal Assistance Center. That's on the 5th floor of the Kent County Courthouse. And you need to prepare an order that says that your motion is adjourned for purposes of mediation. And if mediation will be with the Dispute Resolution Center. And if that mediation proves unsuccessful, you can bring the matter back to me. Just renotice your motion. It won't cost any fees or anything. And I will, I guess, turn this thing upside down. I don't want to, but those are my really only two options. So I'm going to order mediation first. So you need to go to the 5th floor Legal Assistance Center and prepare an order that says that. And then you can present it to Mr. Foster and myself. If it says what I said it should say, I'll sign it. And then we'll see if mediation can help things. But so far, it's been somewhat elusive. Okay? Makes sense, Mr. Foster?
Yes, sir. I have one question, if that's okay.
Real quick.
How am I needed to get involved in the mediation? How do I
Yeah, you get
interact or
involved
contact?
in that. You're gonna, the order will have the name of the mediator, and then they're online and in the phone book, you can call them, you and Ms. Tatro for purposes of setting that mediation up. Yeah, you have to participate. It wouldn't be any worthwhile unless you both actively participate. And I don't want any of this allegations of blackmail and stuff. That's not, I don't want any of that. You guys are too good for that. Ms. Tatro, do you understand what's going on?
Did I have to go sit for a file something? Can I do that Monday?
Yes, you could do that Monday. But you're all set with me today. Have a good weekend, and hopefully mediation can take care of this. We're all set. Thank you.
Wow, they're all set. Marie, I do like your hair. I think we will be back to visit this referee. He plows through the cases. I want you guys to remember, if you've been here all night, I recorded these out of order. So what we just saw there, this was the beginning. This was his opener. And then he progressively got, I guess, less weird. I don't even know, or more weird. It was just very, very odd, but I really enjoyed it. Vicky asked about tomorrow. Well, tomorrow night we all have a date. There's slap fights that we're gonna watch together, and so I think we'll do a pregame where we can pregame for the slap fights. It'll just depend on what time that is. Honestly, that's entirely possible, Vince. That used to happen to me all the time. So it's totally possible. Yes, over on Credence and Mikey, if somebody can pop the link to them in the chat. But we will pregame here, then we'll head on over together and watch it with the boys and have us a good time. It's really fun. If you're like, Paisley, I don't want to watch people slap each other, or I don't know what that's about, just give it a shot. Believe me, there are many, many people who have learned that they actually really enjoy it. And a lot of it's just about the company. Just hanging out with us as the company. But yes, I totally understand. We'll be doing court before slap fights together, pre-gaming. No slap fights here. I don't have those exclusive rights. I don't have no 50,000 subscribers on my channel, so I don't get no exclusive deals. Thank you so much, Cellulite Yoga Pants. You guys, I remember the ones in the mountains, hey? So it's 3 hours ahead for me. So 8 o'clock is 5 p.m. Pacific. So mine is going to be around probably 2 o'clock. I would say 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 5. I don't know. 2 or 3. Is the KCC Discord private? No, it shouldn't be. I might need to post a new invitation. There was like some weird shit that went down on Discord a year ago, where some Discords got messed up, and so it's just like better apparently not to have like a everlasting link. So however, give me 1 second and I'll post a new one in the chat, and then you guys can join the Discord. 1 sec. Here it comes. 1 second. Yeah, I'm on Pacific Standard Time. I live on Vancouver Island. There's the Discord link. Okay. So, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to remember that I love you. And thank you again, Mark and Julie, you guys today, and Mayor. And yeah, Mark, Julie, and Mayor, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And remember that I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.